Good morning. To continue with our wonderful series of keynote speakers, our one and only, because she's here in LA and we've been friends for many, many years, and she's like me, a crusader, a fighter for children's oral health, Dr. Maritza Cabezas. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. She joined the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health Oral Health Program in 1998. She has been the dental director since 2012. Well, pretty much you're going to be your 10th anniversary next year.
Yes,
Wow. It goes so fast, Maritza. It's
I
amazing.
know.
She obtained her doctorate in dentistry from the University of Sao Paulo, Brazil, and was subsequently licensed by the California Dental Board. She has a master's degree in dental public health from the University of Michigan and completed a dental public health residency program at UCSF, just like me. She has published many, many peer-reviewed journal articles. Additionally, she has received numerous awards for her efforts to promote the oral health and improve the health of children and families in the Los Angeles County and around the state and around the world too. Dr. Cabezas was the first dentist to be elected president of the Southern California Public Health Association and founded its oral health section. So we owe so much to you, Maritza, for all your amazing efforts, especially all the work through the pandemic here in Los Angeles. You've been our savior. You've been our go-to person. You've been amazing. So we're so thrilled and so lucky and so honored to have you as our wonderful oral health county director in LA County, and that you're so close to our family here at UCLA. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Francisco Ramos Gomez. Thank you, and I don't know if Dr. Ricks is on the line, but thank you for so much valuable information. And because Dr. Ricks brought a lot of information on data from the in the federal level, I'm going to bring some data on the county level, and you're going to hear some of my data is very similar of his, and listening to him was very interesting to see that. Francisco, can you hear me okay? Okay.
Yes, we can. We see your slides as well.
Okay, perfect. So in 2005, we had our first statewide survey, and we were fortunate enough that we were able to extract LA County data from this survey, which we used to compare to today's results. So 14 years later, we have now the Oral Health Needs Assessment SMILE Survey 2020. And you will be able to get the PDF and download if you like to have. So before I start talking about the survey, I want to remind us that this report was only possible to the California Tax Proposition 56 that increased tobacco tax by $2 per pack. So let's take a very quick look on the timeline. So in Prop 56 passes in November of 2016. In August of 17, we receive a notice of funding from the California Department of Public Health. LA County Department of Public Health submits a grant application in September of 17. In January of 2018, we received the funding. And part of receiving this funding was to conduct an oral health survey. So on February 2018, we proposed contract for the survey, went out for bid. This survey went out to bid in February of 18. We received the bids in March 18, and actually the contract was awarded to UCLA on May 2018. CDC has few recommendations when doing an oral health assessment, and they recommend doing every state to do it every year, every 5 years. So let's just look what CDC recommendations are. They said you should use a basic screening survey, the BSS protocol. You should have a representative sample of public schools. The data collection have to meet the standards of the National Oral Health Surveillance System, and of course, do an appropriate statistical analysis. Just for your information, 50 states, from all 50 states, there are 3 states that don't have data: New Jersey, Tennessee, and Wyoming. And the first BSS was conducted by Washington State in 1995. So let's talk a little bit of the sample selection, survey indicator, and screener training. So in LA County, we have 1,948 third grade schools. From that, we remove all private schools because you remember the CDC guidelines is only to survey public schools. So we remove the private schools. So we were left with 1,359 public schools. From there, we remove virtual schools. Remember, this is prior COVID, but even prior COVID, some schools were virtual. So we had 90 schools that were removed because they were virtual, and left in person 1,263 schools. So that's where our sample came from. So from those 1,263 schools, we divide in two systems, the LA Unified School District and all other districts. And from the LA Unified School District, we stratify by service planning area and percent of free reduced lunch. And we removed from there 31 schools. From the other districts, we did the same thing. We stratify schools by service planning area and percent free reduced lunch, and we have 39 schools. So our sample, our representative sample is 70 schools with 6,900 children in third grade. 2 schools did not have kindergarten, so we added 2 kindergarten feeder schools. So the total of 72 schools participating, 33 LAUSD, 39 non-LASD. And the schools that did not want to participate were replaced. So here you can see on the left a map of LA County and where the 72 schools are located. The sample is representative of all public schools in Los Angeles County. So almost 10,500 children were screened. And here you can see the background, the 5,900 was kindergarten and 4,600 were third grade. And the overall response was 74% response. That's quite high. So I would like to share with you the SMILE survey key findings. So finding number one, remember when I start presenting, we had a report in 2005. So the oral health of Los Angeles County children have improved since 2005. So we have some good news. So here is a comparison from the SMILE survey 2020 and the data from 2005. So the percentage of LA County's kindergarten, third grade children with decay experience and untreated decay by survey 2005 and by 2020. So you can see that we have a relative improvement in both untreated decay and decay experience. So this is the only good news I have for you, because from now on is not so much good news. But we improve. In 17 years, we've seen a decrease in decay experience and untreated decay. So here I'm comparing by grade. So kindergarten, third grade, and both grades. As you can see, we improved from 2005, which is the yellow, and purple is SMILE survey 2020, and you see a decrease in decay experience by grade and by both grades. The same thing with untreated tooth decay. The yellow are the 2005, purple is SMILE survey 2020, all of them showing a decrease in untreated tooth decay in LA County in these 17 years. But despite improvement, disparity persists. Low-income children are significantly more likely to have tooth decay compared to their higher income peers. Children from racial, ethnic minority groups are significantly more likely to have tooth decay compared to white children. And that's what I'm going to show next. This is our key finding number 2. So here we are not comparing two reports. Now we are comparing children from a disadvantaged background with not disadvantaged backgrounds. So you can see that children from a disadvantaged background has much more decay experience and much more untreated decay comparing to kids with not disadvantaged background. While oral health has improved, the disparity gap has widened. Again, we talk about racial and ethnic disparities. This is what we find on the SMILE survey 2020. Decay experience was highest at the Latinx, and untreated decay was higher in Asian, Black, African American, and Latinx in comparison to whites. Another findings that we found in the 2020 is the percentage of kindergarten and third grader with tooth decay experience were higher when the parents' primary language was Spanish. That's very unique to our survey. We look at the parents' primary language to see if that influenced the rate of tooth decay. So untreated tooth decay, LA County disparities. Low-income children have higher and are more likely to have untreated tooth decay compared to their higher-income peers. And compared to white children, Black, African American, and Latino Latinx students are more likely to have untreated tooth decay. Tooth decay experience in LA County. Low-income children are more likely to have tooth decay experience compared to their high-income peers. Children from racial ethnic minority groups are more likely to have tooth decay experience compared to white children. And children from households where Spanish is the primary language are significantly more likely to have tooth decay experience compared to children from English-speaking households. So let's talk about findings number 3. By the time they enter kindergarten, nearly half of LA County children have already tooth decay. That's really a very hard findings to. I have to say in 2005 was 70%. Now we are 50%, but it's still 50% of the kids when they enter kindergarten, they already have tooth decay. Our key findings number 4. Too few children are protected by sealants. Sealants, I believe most of you are very familiar with sealants. They're safe, they're simple, they're cost-effective. They prevent tooth decay in the molar, although we don't have a high level of sealants in LA County. So let's look at that. In LA County, we found 21% of kids have sealants in 2005. Now in 2020, 31%. California, even higher than us, is 37%, and United States is 42%. It's good to compare to California and to the United States to give us some idea of where we are in relation to our community. Key findings, finding number 5. Some children in LA County experience severe tooth decay. 4,500 plus 400-500 plus LA County kindergarten and third grade children need urgent dental care. And urgent dental care is when a child has an abscess, they present with fever, and can be life-threatening. So we have 4,500 children right now with that kind of disease in LA County. So need for ongoing screenings and service so we can find those kids quickly and refer them to a dentist. 43,500 kindergarten and third grade children needed care. Not urgent care, but needed care. So this graph, I want to show some comparison of LA on 2005, LA in 2005, in 2020, and California. So this graph shows LA County's substantial improvement over the last 17 years. The axis shows each of the 50 states. The y-axis uses the most recent data that each state provides to show the percentage of third grader with untreated decay. The bars in red show LA County in 2005 and its improvement over time. LA County not only improved drastically from 2005, but we actually now doing better than the state as a whole, as you can see here. But untreated decay is only part of the story. The prevalence of decay itself is still high. Nearly 2 of 3 LA County children have experienced decay by the time they reach third grade. At this graph here, the x-axis shows each of the 50 states, again, like the other one. The y-axis uses the most recent data that each state provides to show the percentage of third grade with history of decay. You can see that we improved from 2005 results, but still have a long way to go as our percentage is higher than California and higher than many states. So you can see here, we still have a lot of history of tooth decay, even higher than California as a whole. This illustration is a map of the same data we just saw in the previous graph, the percent of third grader with history of decay, where the dark blue has the highest percentage of decay, and the lighter the green, the lower the percentage of students with history of decay. Also note that most of the green and light green states are on the East Coast. This map shows the percentage of residents serviced by public water systems in each state who receive fluoridated water. There certainly seems to have a correlation, as the states with the lowest percentage of decay are also the states with the highest level of water fluoridation. Let me illustrate with one example. Look at Illinois, was on the few light green states on the previous graph, meaning it had very low history of the decay among third grade, and also has 98.5% of their population receiving fluoridated water. The last graph I would like to share with you shows the percentage of third graders with dental sealants. As you can see, in 2005, we were the worst in the nation. We did improve in the last 14 years, but not enough. As you can see, we are still behind California and many other states. So I will leave that part with 3 asks. Our commitment to continue to work to improve these indicators. A call for action, further our efforts for our children and increase the percentage of third graders with dental sealants. And I would hope that the next 5 years, when we do another SMILE survey, we see advancement and at the 2025 SMILE survey. I will continue working towards, sorry. So these is 2 infographics that we have at your disposal, has all the information that I mentioned, but in one page. They can be downloaded. We have that in a PDF format. And as, I don't know if you heard, as Dr. Francisco Ramos Gomes mentioned, we also have one, we were able to produce one in childhood obesity in Los Angeles County. So obesity rates are higher among low-income, Latinx, and Black children. So that information is all available in our website. Thank you. That ends the part of my presentation on the SMILE survey. Here you can see the website, publichealth.lacounty.gov/OHP, oral health program /. But I will give the PDF links to Lauren, and she can pass to you, which will be easier. So Dr. Ramos Gomes, do you want me to continue to the next presentation? We want to do a little stop here. What would you prefer?
Want to continue? Dr. Cabezas, if you don't mind continuing, and I will ask people to put in the chat any questions they have, or maybe have a little bit of Q&A at the end, would be great.
Okay, perfect. So I have another presentation. The other presentation is lighter because it's more fun, because we got that data is I would say maybe heavy. So let's start with that the second presentation. So disclosure, we have no actual or potential conflict of interest in relation to this program or presentation. We're going to talk about about Love Your Baby's Teeth oral health media campaign. This is the first oral health campaign done by the Department of Public Health. So let me give you the beginning of our story. When we start,
I'm not sure if you're showing anything in the, but it's blank, it's dark.
Oh, okay. So let me go previous and previous.
And you have to stop sharing and start again.
Okay, stop share and start. Okay, so let me try again.
Sometimes that happens, but you have to start all to start sharing.
Screen 1, share. Can you see now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to talk about Love Your Baby's Teeth oral health media campaign. As I said 2 seconds ago, that was the first campaign for the Department of Public Health in oral health. So we start with data background. When we decided to do a public health media campaign, we were very interested in understanding the data, learning about the data, and see how the data could change action. So we really want to make media campaign based in data and science. So let's look at the data. So who is our target audience? So we went to look at the prevalence of tooth decay. So we look at national LA count data, and I'm gonna go kind of fast here because it's really the data you just heard. But one thing I want to add, Dr. Ricks mentioned today about starting at age 2 and 3. So I want to remind you that 2 is too late. 1 of 4 children have tooth decay by the age of 2. By the age group of 6 and 8 years of age, 2 out of 4 have tooth decay. So to prevent decay, we must start children younger than 2 because 2 is too late. So the LA County data kindergarten is what you just saw a couple of minutes ago. Low-income children, disadvantaged children, have more tooth decay. Kindergarten children, the Hispanic background, have higher tooth decay. And when there's primary language spoken at home or Spanish, they have kindergarten children with tooth decay is higher when parents' primary language was different than English. So factors associated with decay, we know, is income, race, ethnicity, and the language they speak at home. So we're going to keep looking at the California data. We also look into Medi-Cal, and we look at the percent of our children who had a dental visit. As you can see, the lowest dental visit utilization is in the group younger than 1 and 1 to 2. And remember, 2 is too late, so something here is not working. Again, Spanish-speaking Hispanics are less likely to visit a dentist in comparison to their non-Hispanic counterpart. So the campaign was based on all the data. We want to increase awareness among parents and caregivers of children aged 6 to 5 years about the importance of managing their children's oral health. We want to encourage caregivers to take an action role in the management of their children's oral health, including starting dental visit by the time the child has their first tooth or reaches 1 year of age. And we want to communicate and show the easy of at-home oral health habits. That's our campaign goals. So let's talk a little bit about the campaign development. So we first had an idea to do ABCs. So every letter would have an action. Gum, G is for gums, wipe down your baby's teeth after feeding. R is for routine, make brushing, rinsing, flossing part of yours. So this was the first idea of our campaign. Our second idea was the tooth fairy. The tooth fairy, the gum fairy, the tongue fairy, the floss fairy, the rinse fairy, each one having their own role in the oral health campaign. And then we had the monsters. The monster with the gummy monsters, the doctor monster, and I just like a summary. Why the ABC didn't work was too many characters and more focus on infants. It may not appeal to kindergarten. The fairies, they had a mature look and may not appeal to infants. And families from different cultural backgrounds may not know about the tooth fairy. I see some heads. Yes, so fairies, when it was a very nice campaign, but did not talk to our community. And the monster, when we did the focus group and we showed to parents, they really liked the appeal. And we said, oh, my little kid will like, and we heard, oh, my older kid actually likes. So the monster was our best option. So evolution of the characters. Since we decided to go in the monster, this is the first drawing, the first idea that the media company gave us. So this is create a character for each of the oral health and to give them different age groups. So the first round of exploration was a brusher T. This is our first drawing because we want the brusher T be adventurous, cool, friendly, but we didn't want them to be scary or not attractive. So this is the first round. The first round exploration of the doctor, because we want a mature, a kind, a multitask, a reliable doctor. So we want her to wear a coat. So this is the first drawing that came about when we expressed the wishes of our personality and appearance. And this is the first round exploration for the gangster. We want something silly, cheerful. So this is now let me go to show you the second round of exploration. So the brusher T now in the second round has a different feel, but we didn't like his horns. We still found he's a little unfriendly, a little too scary, but fun. So we were going in the right direction. This is the Dr. Bright in the second exploration. Like we said, we want her to give a sense of authority, but a cool authority, and not be more like a monster, because that has a bad connotation. We want her to be friendly and accepting. And that's the Gumster second round of exploration. We are getting there. We are getting there. So I think the next slide shows the final look of our campaign. Oh no, there's a little more, one more thing on the Gumster. We asked them to add the centrals, inferior centrals. I don't know if you can see here, because we want the Gumsters to be in that 6 months, 7 months when they just have an eruption of their centrals. So this is him or her with her little centrals erupting. So this is the final character lineup. So what you're seeing here is, quickly I showed from beginning, from the fairies to first round of drawing, second round. So this is our campaign. So you are invited here to see our 3 friends. And we had three jingles, and the jingles we play over and over. And the jingle that we chose, we think was the most captive. And I will share you the campaign video. I hope you can hear. I'm gonna actually increase my volume, so my speaker, so you can hear. So this is an English campaign.
I'm not sure if you have the video that we can hear better. Lauren, do you have it to show?
So that's our campaign in English. When we present the preliminary findings in January, Dr. Francisco Gromi was there at the presentation. A lot of people ask the video in Spanish. And I don't know if you ever did translation. It's not just translating the word. We have to get the same feeling. We have in Spanish, and I'll be glad to show you. I think my next slide is in Spanish, but it was not easy to adapt the feel and look we wanted in Spanish. But here it is. No, that's English. Hold on, next slide. Next. Okay.
We don't seem to be able to listen very well, Maritza. I'm not sure.
You cannot hear.
No, not very well. I'm trying to see if Lauren can maybe find the videos online that she can maybe show them if possible. It's just a very catchy song. I remember, I mean, it's a really great song.
You're not hearing? Not hearing well.
We're gonna try to send them the link so that each
Okay.
of them can have.
I'm sorry, I closed my presentation.
No worries.
Trying to close the Lenore Health Campaign. Our health campaign. Okay, I hope you can hear the slide. This here, let me find, because it's really a cute song. So we have in Spanish and we have in English. So let's talk about, can you see everything?
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about the launch. So you saw the video, and I hope you will take time and link in here. So the soft launch was in February 1st because we want to coincide with National Children's Dental Health Month. So we put the video that you saw, did not hear, on YouTube, and we create those digital banners. And also we have a whole website just for our characters. It's called choosehealthla.com/teeth. So the banners, and you're probably very familiar with the banners. Those banners, when you are searching the website, MSN, Yahoo, you see those banners. So those banners are the ones that we created, and there is a link, and you press to learn more. And that link will take them to the choosehealthla.com website. So here are different banners. I put an arrow to take your dentist take your baby to the dentist by the time they turn 1, because that was the number one that got the most number of clicks with the English speaking families. So when we analyze all those banners, this banner has the most click for the English. But for the Spanish family, the one that generated the most link was the one that talk about the smile. So here are all the options of the banners. And here's just showing how the banners look in our websites. You're Googling something and the banners comes on the side and you can link. So I just mentioned that, so I don't need to repeat. It's basically the Spanish speaking prefer the Sonrisa, and the English speaking were more attracted to the take your child to the dentist by the time they turn 1. So here is our Choose Health LA website that I mentioned. So there is place you can download. You can see the video in English. You can see the video in Spanish. You can we talk about fluoride, why fluoride is good for kids. We talk about water. Remember, we need to address sugar drinks, because that's why, going back to my first presentation, we made sure we collect height and weight of every child, so we could look into the obesity of LA County children, because obesity and dental decay is very linked. One of the most interesting part of the campaign, we did the oral health milestones, and we want to make sure parents could look at them on their phone, on their smartphone. So our campaign was done to be seen at the website and at the mobile phones. And the milestone document has tips from parents from pregnancy all the way to teenager years. We talk about sealants, we talk about fluoride varnish, going to the dentist. We talk about choosing drinks and food that are not high in sugar. So these milestones is really a guide. And I want to back up a little bit. When we were doing the focus groups to see which character the parents more got liked, we heard a lot from the parents that they would like to have a place that they could go and read. What am I supposed to do with my 6-year-old in relation to their oral health? What happened there at 10? So this oral health milestone document was really a result of what we heard from the parents on the focus group. They want to know how to take care of their children's teeth. Again, you see the banners here in Instagram. You see a little arrow here because we did a carousel, because people, when they in Instagram, they like to change pictures. So when you change here, you see one monster and you see another monster. So we really try to adapt our campaign to every platform that we were showing. And here, just quickly, we just got that. This is kind of how many clicks we got. So for example, for the video, we showed 932,000 times and generate almost 4,000 clicks. So people looking at the video, they went to the website. Native, what is native? Those are those banners that are like in the middle of the article. Let's say when you're reading LA Times and there is a picture that is not part of the article, but it looks like it's part of the article. Those are called native. So on the natives, we got almost 6,000 clicks. Cargo is another platform that sends ads to your mobile phone. We got 3,621 people clicking to our website to find out how to take care of the child's teeth. Pandora, we put Pandora ads. We got 188 clicks, but remember, Pandora people are listening. Sometimes they're driving, so we're not surprised that the click was not so high. Facebook and Instagram, when they saw those banners, 3,074 people went to look our website. YouTube, 860. So we had a total of almost 18,000 people going to the website just from February 1st to March 9. The full launch included radio, television, and pediatrician office. Let me show you that. So we had broadcast of the video on television. We had 3 weeks in English and Spanish channels, and we had also 2 weeks in the PBS Kids programming. So when parents are watching with the kids, they would see the ad, as you can see here in this picture. We also had some parts of the music being broadcast in the radio, 4 weeks in English and Spanish, and 3 weeks during traffic radio. This is all the interview that was done by me and Dr. Avery Daniel, and you can see we went from ESPN to Kiss FM. And if you want, I have the download of us talking to Kiss FM, and it was very interesting doing radio interview. I have the link for all the interviews if anybody's interested. And let me talk about the outdoors. We want our campaign to go outside, where parents go to the market, where parents wait for the bus. So let me show. We had the bus shelters. This is the Love Your Baby Teeth campaign, and we put in bus shelters. This is in Spanish, the same thing. And here, choosehealthla.com is the website that we are telling parents to go. This is the grocery store, and let me show how it looks. So here is in the grocery store, you have brush your teeth, and here is the corrals. Corrals is where you put your cart. We want to put our flyers there. So is there repetition? They hear in the radio, they go to the market, they see in the corrals. So, and we focus, again, remember from the beginning of my presentation, low income, Spanish speaking. So we found the neighborhoods, and that's where we put our ads. Here, another example, if you can see here, Cepilla, that's in Spanish. Here's another corral in Spanish, Cepilla los dientes. And one of the final tools that we use is that we put our campaign on pediatrician offices. And let me show, because here are different offices that we visit. What we want to, and if you can see the poster in the back. So the idea is when the mom is bringing the baby for the checkup, they're going to see in the paper, and we want them to see the poster. And the poster has the same information in the printing. So it's a chance for her to ask the pediatrician, oh, I see here, take my baby now. The baby's not even 1 year of age. So we want that conversation to start. So the pediatrician that accept putting our paper also had to accept putting the poster. And we're going to be collecting afterwards. We're going to be asking them how many questions generated, if generated questions. So there is a whole section and evaluation of the project after it's done. We also did a mirror clean, so they put the decal in the mirror so they can brush, making sure they have their face right there. So it's to help them try to match when they brush the decal. And we also did some coloring papers. And this is a partnership, Pasadena, as you can see here on the right corner, lower right, Pasadena asked to co-brand with us. So we are open to co-branding. We run partners. We want our campaign to keep going. So if anybody's interested in co-branding, I brought Pasadena an example of a successful one. And we had 3 pieces in newspaper, Los Cerritos, and also I have the link. I'll have the link of everything. I just didn't want to bother you and put the link here. And this is just the very first number collection on the video, on the YouTube videos. So we had people went to see the Love Your Baby Teeth in English 271,000 times. In Spanish, 74,000. And Love Your Baby, we have a bilingual one too, which is we learned from the Hispanic community that they like when it's bilingual. So we create a video that is bilingual as well. And I brought it to show you, but I won't because at least you cannot hear. So choosehealthla.com teeth was viewed 10,000 times, and Choose Health LA dientes in Spanish was viewed even more, 12,000 times. This is just that we were very fortunate to get free announcements. So between February and March, we generate an estimated 2 million impressions. And impressions is, they calculate how many people heard or saw our ads. So this is all free media that we were able to capture. Again, as I said, this is just the beginning of our analytics. We're going to have a whole evaluation in a couple of months. And we're trying to get more funds to continue the campaign, but we will have the evaluation probably by July, August. This is the bilingual video. I won't show you because you cannot hear. So I'm going to see if I can skip.
We actually post a link, Maritza, in the chat, so people can just download it themselves directly, so they can listen to it.
Okay. Okay. And this is my thank you for listen to my presentation.
Thank you so much.